This is the process we use to prep and pre-freeze about 60 pounds of comice pears for freeze drying. First we cord them using a small scoop, then cut out the stem with a small knife. We cut a very thin slice of peel off the bottom and then slice them into about 1/4 inch slices. We put them in a bowl of water that has some fruit fresh and lemon juice in it. Once we had a few pears sliced, we took them out of the water and then put them on a plate 2 layers high and then sprinkle them with a little cinnamon. Next, I flipped them over as I put them onto a cookie sheet. And once the cookie sheet was full, I sprinkled that side with a little cinnamon. As each tray was filled and then sprinkled with cinnamon, it would be put in the freezer to pre-freeze. When they were completely frozen, the pears would be transferred to bags to wait for their turn in the freeze dryer. Be sure to wipe down the front of the seal to make sure that it gets a tight seal. And then I put in the little insulation pad and a little foam cord disc that I made. Usually I like to freeze dry things that have already been frozen, so I customize the cycle by adjusting the times. The freeze time doesn't need to be as long if it's pre-frozen, and then start custom and continue. And now it's food Tetris. I'm putting the frozen food onto the trays. I don't load the freeze dryer until the freeze dryer is below the temperature of our home freezer, so about 5 below. These are some of the comice pears that we had processed earlier. They were double stacked and sprinkled with cinnamon on each side, and then pre-frozen, waiting their turn to freeze dry. Pre-frozen pear slices only need about 4 to 6 hours in the pre-cooled freeze dryer before the drying process can begin. The freeze dryer will cool the food to about -50 or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll cancel the extra freeze time if the freeze dryer is cold ahead of time, and this will start the vacuum and drying process. When the freeze drying process is done, the vacuum pump will turn off. This could take 24 to 50 hours even, depending on what you're drying. Opening the drain valve will let the air come in, and then you can open the door. After the pressure equalizes, you'll be able to open the door. The seal on mine sometimes sticks to the door, and so I just use a little frosting spatula to release it. If everything is completely dry, then it can be removed and bagged. Break a couple of the thickest pieces to make sure that there's no ice in the middle or cold spots or moisture of any kind. You can turn the machine off by pressing the no defrost button. I put a baffle in the middle rack to direct the airflow from the fan that I put on the door. This helps the ice melt faster so I can get ready for the next batch. Now that the food is freeze-dried, we need to package it and label it for long-term storage. If we're bagging a lot of the same thing at once, then we print labels. Otherwise, we just use a felt pen and write directly on the bag. We use heavy mylar bags for our storage. And for snack items, we use a carefully measured amount in each bag. In other words, we throw in whatever we want to put in there. The bags come in a variety of different sizes. This is a 2-quart bag. For long-term storage, you add an oxygen absorber of the appropriate size, and then heat seal the bags. We have an Impact brand heat sealer. I like it because it's quick and easy, and it puts a 5mm wide seal on the bag.